Hey everybody, it's Dr. Cara, and I am here with your May 2020 forecast. And I know I say it every month, but oh my gosh, I can't believe another month has gone by. And so here we are, May of 2020. Most of us are still in shelter-in-place quarantine conditions. Some countries are starting to release some of those restrictions a little bit, but it seems like everybody's talking at least about next steps and getting out of this phase, which feels really, really good. And of course, because I'm me, I always look to the animals for guidance and understanding about what is going on in our world. And so that's what the forecast is about. I've got my animal wisdom oracle cards, and I've been shuffling them and really kind of leaning into the energy of May and what's coming up. So I'm going to draw some cards there in just a moment. But before I do that, I wanted to let you know that I've got some new stuff this month that I have not ever offered before. So I have a free webinar called Your Animal Communicator Business Roadmap. So if you are an animal communicator and you think you would like to either become a professional or at least get more information about what it takes to be a professional, then come on over to that free webinar that's on May 6th. And I will have a link for you to register in the description. And then the following week, I start my 4-week class on your first paying client. And so this is going to walk animal communicators and healers through the process of how do I get that very first client, because that's the one that really matters, right? That's the one that changes everything. So let's just get you that first client. And then on the way to that, you're going to have created a system that will help you get your next client and your next client and your next client. And I'm super, super excited about that class and super excited about all the possibilities for everybody who joins me there and who steps up and says, yes, I'm ready. I'm going to do this, because we need more animal communicators, we need more light workers, and we need to change the world that we're living in. And talking to the animals is a great way to do that. So I hope you'll join me, and I'll put registration info for the class too. We don't have it yet, I don't think, but as soon as we get that, I will put that in there as well. So let's talk about May, and I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards. So first off, we've got Panda, which is all about finding stillness in the moment. And so for me, one of the experiences that I've had over the last 6 weeks of being shelter in place in California is really slowing down, really getting present in the present moment, really living in that place of, the future isn't decided. Things are undecided and up in the air. So there's really nothing to do but just to be here, right now. And Panda is such an amazing model and teacher for that. The peace and the stillness that they have, it just wafts off their aura, or however you want to think about it. So finding the peace and the stillness is the first one. And then number 2 today is octopus. And I always love getting octopus, because octopus is really about recognizing that everything we need is provided for us. And if we don't see it where we're looking, then we look somewhere else. And I know a lot of us are facing some real challenges with the changes that the coronavirus and the shutdowns, the restrictions have brought about. In fact, my husband was furloughed very early on, and then was recently let go from his job because they just had to downsize because they have no business. It was a clothing company, and so their business just basically went to nothing overnight. So I'm not saying this from a place of theory. I'm saying that, like, we're going through this at our house as well, that there are things changing. And octopus reminds us of the life skill of flexibility and of knowing that no matter what is going on, this is for you. This is for me. This is for us. Somehow, this is an opportunity, and everything I need is provided for me. If I don't see it where I'm looking, then I have to look in another direction. So we have to be flexible. The other thing about octopus is they're so integrated into their environment. It's like they feel everything throughout their body. It's like our vision sensors, but not vision, but just the way that they feel and integrate into their environment is a complete total body experience. And we have to really remember that we are that way too. We have that integration into our world. And the world loves us, the universe loves us and wants us to succeed. And sometimes it gives us these little nudges to go in a new direction. It's definitely happening in my family, and it's happening for a lot of people I know. So the message from Octopus is really to recognize that you are loved, you are taken care of, and flexibility will help you look around and see where those other opportunities are. So let's go to the final card for this month of May is the Mountain Lion. And Mountain Lion, I love Mountain Lion too. I mean, right? Like I love them all. I always do. But the thing about Mountain Lion is the real strong message is that we are capable and we can do things. And I think that's one of the take-home messages that we have seen as a global community is that when we all act together and come together, we are capable of more than we realized, you know, in terms of the climate change and those sorts of things that have been happening with the pollution being decreased. It's having a huge impact on our environment. And we need that environment. We need that environment to sustain life on this planet. We cannot keep compartmentalizing our world into this is an economic and this is a the human survival and this is a climate thing. No, 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 no. All of those things are all integrated. And so we're creating false dichotomies when we say, well, the economy comes first and people's welfare comes first. But it can't come first because there's no separation. And that's, you know, what I think we're learning with this is we have more power than we realized. And I think the other really, really cool thing about Mountain Lion is that her gift is that integration of intellect and intuition and instinct. So instinct and intellect. And so we have to come back to the instinctive part of ourselves and really get back in touch with that animal side of ourselves. And yet at the same time, we are very mental beings. We're very intelligent. But how can we integrate those two things? We don't have to choose between them. It's not either or, it's yes and, it's both and. And Mountain Lion is such a perfect example of really being really anchored in the physical, the animal, the instinctive, but at the same time, really, really intelligent, really thinking things through, really combining all of the capacities. And I really think of the sixth chakra here because that's the chakra that governs the brain, the intuition, the intellect, the thinking. All of that is in the same chakra in the same space. So we don't need to say we have to choose one or the other, but we can choose to integrate them both and to use both and to make us even stronger because we've got both. So this is a really, really powerful forecast for the month because we have this reminder to stay in this still place inside ourselves, but also know that we're really connected to our environment and that we're being provided for, even if it's not in the ways that we're used to or that we've become accustomed to. We're more powerful than we realize. And when we put our brains together with our intuition, wow, you know, we amplify that even more. So Panda, Octopus, and mountain lion are just really taking the energy right now that we're in, and this opportunity for this reopening of all these places around the world. Let's keep the stillness that we've found. Let's keep this quietness, this internal sense of peace while we're trying new things and being flexible, but in the moment, right? And knowing that things are going to be okay, that we're going to find our way through this, and that we are capable and powerful. And when we combine our intellect with our instinct, I think we're unstoppable. And I think that humanity has lost touch collectively with the animalistic side of us, that part of us that needs to be in nature. That's that primal part of us. We need to acknowledge that, and our connection to all things nature. I think we've lost sight of that, and we've created this misconception that we're somehow separate from our environment and separate from nature. And I think we do that at the detriment of all of the species on this planet, animal, plant, whatever. So I think this is a super powerful forecast for the month, and I would love to hear what you think about it. Like, what really strikes you about these animals and their messages and the energy of what's going on, and how can you take this home? So how can you anchor this? Which animal are you going to really take with you? Which message resonates with you? Leave a note in the comments. I would love to hear from you. I think for me, I have started a daily yoga practice. I'm on day 3. I'm going for 33 days in a row. And I'm on day 3 today, and I've been successful so far. But that helps me retain that peace and calmness inside of me. And I'm not sure how I'm going to anchor octopus and mountain lion other than just kind of keeping them in my awareness. But I really think that that daily yoga practice is going to keep bringing me back to that stillness. So I feel pretty good about the panda part of the forecast. So let me know. And if I missed something, if you got a hit that I didn't get, definitely share it with me. I love the richness of collectively gathering our impressions and putting them together, or thinking about things from a different point of view. So that's my forecast for May 2020. I hope you find it uplifting and inspiring and helpful. And if you're an animal communicator, I hope you will join me this month at either my free webinar about your animal communicator business roadmap, and or at my new class, Your First Paying Client. So have a beautiful month. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye, everybody.